morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Tuesday, which means it's Good Tuesday. That's right. We have all the good, positive news you need to hear about today so that you have hope in humanity and the world again. So, if you're new here, this is the first and only international game show Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show starts. We've just got caffeine in our body and we're learning to speak and read live on stream. Let's get into that good news headlines and spin that segue wheel. Also, let me adjust my freaking green screen yet again. Being a jerk and showing my background. There we go.
Okay. It's all right, man. We'll get through it.
Today on Good Tuesday, woman's viral video of an elderly DoorDash driver channels $1 million to help him retire. And Japan's yogurt delivery ladies serve as support net for country's aging population.
Wow. Greetings, United States on Good Tuesday. We're going to talk about fish. Why is this salmon species, unlike others, is booming in the Northwest? That's my first segment.
Turning a moment of loss into something hopeful. Britain helps update on the sycamore gap tree in Britain in the UK. Plus, in Romania now, you don't see a bottle anywhere. How Romania turned itself around from a trash dump to less of a trash dump.
Haha. And Sean Penn skipped the Academy Awards, where he actually won an Academy Award, just to meet with Vladimir Zelensky. And we're going to have Nobel laureate is turning air into the water. That's not exactly it.
In my culture news, Genies, British couple claimed world's largest gin collection. So I guess if you love gin, head over to their house.
Woohoo! And it's St. Patrick's Day. It's National Corned Beef and Cabbage Day. So get out there and run all the snakes out of your village. It's March 17th, 2026 on Before Coffee. I'm three-dimensional, so I fit in.
It's National 3D Day and you're three-dimensional.
Most of us are.
Most of us are. There are some two-dimensional people out there who are like, I base my entire life on my love for dolphins, and that's it. That's all they have going for them.
Did they speak in dolphin even?
Oh, yeah. They just
can have a conversation with them in dolphin.
Yeah, and I'm not hating on people who identify with dolphins. I'm just saying, add some more dimension to your life. You know, you can be obsessed with dolphins and also, I don't know, care about Ukraine or something. That's all.
Thanks
that's
for all
possible.
the fish. Thanks for all the fish. Thanks.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
May... Why'd you bring up dolphins? Yeah, I think you did that on purpose.
I saw some whales on one of these videos, the autoplay on one of the websites I'm on. And I was like, oh yeah, dolphins. Okay, let's run our segue wheel for our first stories here.
That'd be a bad pun. You already threw it out there.
What do we got rolling today? It is actually an alliteration headline.
Oh, no.
Oh, never mind. No, it did land on. Okay. It looked like it landed on Limerick. It looked like it landed on Limerick, but it was alliteration headline. I confirm alliteration headline.
Alliteration Limerick. Let's do an alliteration Limerick, huh?
Good luck for that. Yeah, I'm not gonna volunteer for that. This first story is coming out of I think Manchester, Tennessee, in the United States, where people don't have pensions unless I guess you get a really good job. This DoorDash driver was given $1 million to help him retire. This is from Andy Corbally on the Good News Network. Yeah, I guess you need to start doing DoorDashing and maybe look really hobbled and old, and then somebody will give you money. That's what you need to do. And also you have to wear your veteran hat, right? Just all the things to really get
That's
sympathy.
my new career move. Call Trump a pedophile protector. That gets you cash
Yeah.
in too. Some guy made a fortune off that.
Oh, right, yeah. A woman who had a DoorDash order brought to her house was shocked to see an old man on her doorbell camera. Inspired to help, she set up a GoFundMe, which raised $940,000 to allow the man to retire. It was just another weekday in Manchester, Tennessee, when Brittany Smith heard the doorbell ring. Switching from on her phone's Ring doorbell camera app, she was surprised to see an elderly man she would later learn was named Richard, ascending to her porch in a red flannel shirt and khakis. It could have been called a door dwaddle order, as in his old age he could hardly dash up the steps to her front door. Okay, thanks for the ageist jokes, Andy.
Oh, really? Jesus, man.
And needed
Just
the
say thanks for
hand.
the money.
He did need the hand railings to support. The picture they show does show him using the hand. I always use the hand railing because I don't want to fall on my face, but I guess this is for old people. My daughter's dad is quadriplegic. So, oh wait, why am I giving her a British accent? She's from Tennessee. My daughter's dad is quadriplegic, so he often has things sent to the house because he can't physically go get him, Smith said, explaining why Richard arrived at their house that day. This poor guy struggling to get up my stairs to deliver my very capable daughter her Starbucks. Calling her daughter's father, Smith asked to leave a bigger tip, but the father replied the opportunity through the DoorDash app to do so was gone. Meanwhile, she posted the video footage from the Ring camera on TikTok, on other social media platforms, wondering if anyone in Manchester knew who this old man was. A Facebook user recognized him as Richard and got into contact with Smith to reveal his identity and address. Driving over, Smith offered him a $200 tip, which would have made the story beautiful on its own, but it got even sweeter than the Starbucks Richard had delivered. At his house, Richard explained that his wife lost her job, and that the two of them, they shouldn't be working anymore.
Yeah, right.
My wife lost her job. She should have a job. She should be retired.
Doesn't
No, this is
England
in
have pension?
Tennessee. This is in Tennessee, Manchester,
Oh,
Tennessee.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about
that's why I give them
Never
southern
mind.
accents.
Sorry. Never mind.
Anyways,
Old in America means poor.
Yeah, exactly. His wife lost her job, and the two of them quickly lost their savings, paying for monthly expenses and a very costly medication she was taking. Oh no, sounds like the story Amlin was telling us earlier, the $600 for 3 months medication. Richard took the DoorDash gig to try and supplement their income. That's when Smith set up a GoFundMe with the aim of helping Richard go back into retirement. With the footage from the Ring camera going viral, the GoFundMe benefited tremendously and raised almost $1 million from an incredibly 32,000 donations. I had no idea that I was going to gain that much traction, Smith told the UK's Independent.
Whoa,
Richard said he has not slept in 2 days because he can't quit watching the GoFundMe. So there you go. Share this incredible, successful gesture for an old man in need who sadly lives in a country that doesn't care about him once he stops making the money. Makes them pay for expensive medications. Oh, right, yeah, they're going to be like, you need to pay the gift tax.
Oh, you make too much money now, pal. We're going to repossess your home. Oh, okay.
You don't qualify.
That's how it works in America, folks.
Yeah, you don't qualify for disability anymore because you have more than $10,000 in your bank account. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, the government's giving it to you with one hand or sticking that shiv right in your back. Don't worry about it. Let's
just think that nothing bad happened to him and he's gonna live out his retirement great. Yay!
Yeah, let's think. Exactly. I want something great to happen. I'm sorry, I didn't spin sarcasm. Here I am. Sarcasm.
Also, good morning, Desi. Thank you for stopping by.
I was only tasked with being a smart ass headline, and I did the wrong thing. I apologize.
Thank you for your 50 stream streak as well, Desi. That's a lot of streams to not miss.
Hope you hear my clapping. The headline should read, derelict DoorDash driver deemed deserving dollar deluge.
Oh yeah, that indeed a deluge. I don't think I would ever see $1 million at once in one sitting. That's crazy. Yeah.
The headline had 3 D's to start with. Where's the story?
Yeah, DoorDash exactly.
Driver. I didn't even,
easy.
I could have just said DoorDash driver and just quit, right? DoorDash driver.
Deluge of cash. Our next
deluge of dollars.
Our next story is coming out of Japan, which is also suffering its own issues with elderly population, but this is more like there's just so many of them and they get lonely. This is from Andy Corbley as well on the Good News Network. The best travel stories are often those most subtle. Things that only a genuinely attentive person could pick out in a strange society they pass through. Such a story comes now from Japan, being the BBC, where reporter Julia Crouch put together the tale of a unique profession of smiling watchers who consider themselves to have the double duty of watching over the country's aging population while, of all things, delivering probiotic yogurt door to door. Oh man, that sounds. I wish a nice Asian woman would stop by my door and deliver me Yakult. I love Yakult. For the average tourist in Japan, they're perhaps there to see the cherry blossoms, Shibuya Crossing, or Kyoto's temples. A woman passing by in a smart navy jacket and a skirt lined in a plaid rim, ribboned with a name tag and a matching sun hat, might merely appear part of the scenery. Might merely appear part of the scenery. That's just a normal Japanese woman, but she's a hero. But the BBC reporters, it was a loose thread of a story to pull on. The result was this story of the Yakult Yogurt Company. Called it! I knew it was Yakult. Probiotic yogurt. Yakult is the brand for that. And they're delivered, not sponsored by Yakult. But please message us if you would like to support us, Yakult. Yes, it starts with a Y. It starts with a Y.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the delivery ladies called the Yakult Ladies. In the early 20th century, Yakult was trying to sell probiotic yogurt drinks at a time when bacteria was something that made you sick. Realizing it needed a competent sales force to explain the difference, get some pretty lazy out there, they'll sell you anything. The company first employed, actually that's interesting, they first employed men to go door to door. Crouch writes, until a labor shortage saw more and more women enter the workforce, and Yakult came to reason that since women took care of the groceries, they'd be more likely to heed advice of other women. Thenceforth, the Yakult lady in our iconic uniform was born. The strategy was a hit and the company grew. As the decades passed, Japan became the world's fastest aging population with 30% of citizens above the age of 65. Social isolation and loneliness among seniors have become a nationally relevant challenge. At the same time, it wasn't unusual for one familiar face an elderly Japanese person might see come to their house was the Yakult delivery lady. The situation created the Yakult lady as a social guardian of sorts, a watcher, who may be the only person who knows whether an elderly person is experiencing failing health, or on the flip side, who knows that they just took up yoga or planned a trip to China. It's also nice to check up on older people because some people, right, they sadly pass away in their apartments and then they're not found by their family members until a week later. So.
Oh, yeah. Especially when it's like warm, too hot and stuff.
Yeah, that's really sad. So the Yakult ladies are really heroes. They're not just people who sell products, a 47-year-old Yakult lady, Asuka Mochida, told the BBC. We are watchers in a sense, people who look out for others. We notice small changes in health or lifestyle. A Yakult lady might work 4 days a week, visiting between 30 to 50 houses, stopping at times to chat and inquire after a person's well-being. Other Yakult ladies told the BBC that sometimes they'll chat with customers about the weather, gardening, family, or current affairs. For the customer of Yakult products, the visit gives them something to look forward to. Knowing that someone is definitely come to see my face every week is tremendous comfort, one anonymous customer told Crouch and the BBC. Even on days when I feel unwell, hearing her say, "How are you today?" at my doorstep gives me strength. Yakult isn't just a Japanese brand. It's expanded into Brazil and Mexico, Malaysia, Vietnam, the Philippines, Singapore, China, Indonesia, and also the Netherlands. You can buy it in your local milk section. It's there right now. Trust me. There are 50 that I'm not sponsored by Yakult, but maybe I'll send them an email. Hey, would you like to sponsor this episode? There are 50,000 Yakult ladies worldwide, sometimes translated into aunties or moms, but the concept is the same: a smiling face, a nutritious snack, and something to look forward to. I don't think we have Yakult ladies here in the Netherlands, but maybe that's my new side business, I guess. I'm going to go to the store, get some Yakult, and start selling it door to door and be like, hey, have you tried this probiotic? And a great way to practice my Dutch with old people. Old people love talking, even if you don't speak very well. They're like, I'll practice my Dutch with you. But there's my story on the women who started out just being salespeople and somehow transformed that into like a societal benefit, a boon, even you could say.
A boon doesn't start with the P. I could have said boon, but
I thought you were gonna do wise.
No, I ran out of Y's. It just didn't go anywhere. nowhere, right? So we're going in a different direction. The headline should read, "Popular probiotic patriot persists in providing provisions."
Woohoo!
Sorry if I got any spit on any of you. We got our ones.
Provisions. Let's roll our next segue, Will, for your good news story.
Oh, one good news story for this segment. So let's have a spin. Oh, let me write now.
I'm going to tell you a joke about it. Oh, or not. It's a hypothetical. Joke? It was almost a joke, but landed on hypothetical. I'm getting a lot of on the cusps. Getting a lot of on the cusps.
Yeah, I think the wheel needs calibration. Got to send it in for calibration, I think. SeattleTimes.com has a story why this salmon species, unlike others, is blooming in the Northeast.
Well, hopes that we open the river again. This is the same salmon from the river that they opened last year or 2 years ago.
Oh well, let's figure it out here. Well, they've been opening it all along. This is Green River, the Green River, Flaming Geyser State Park. So it is a different river.
It is a different river.
The future is pink. Their tails thrashed at a crescendo through the riffles, humps piercing the water's surface. Thousands of pink salmon had reached the final leg of their high seas journey last fall. They would soon spawn the next generation and join others decomposing along the shore, their bodies' nutrients feeding the emerald canopy above. This display of abundance is rare. Right, no, the trees freed off the pink salmon. That's right, you can find their DNA. If you cut up a tree, you will find salmon DNA in it. The display of abundance is rare, reminiscent of stories passed down describing salmon running so thick in the Pacific Northwest rivers that one could walk across their backs. It also, that is not the only place this happens, by the way. I grew up in Wisconsin. When a sucker salmon, they call them there, when they're going upstream, you can just walk into the stream. Me and my dad, now I wasn't big enough to pick up a fish. They're actually pretty big fish.
Yeah, they're huge.
My dad would just wade into the stream, hike up his pants, wade into the stream, and just start throwing fish up on the bank, one after the other. Fucking amazing. Dad, I didn't know this fishing was this easy. It's just crazy, right? I mean, I said, when I was a kid, my dad just, hey, Pickerel Creek. He pulls over to the side of the road, opens the trunk. He's got a fucking pail, he didn't need a pail. I didn't know what he fucking had in the pail. Anyway, we ended up throwing all the fish in the trunk. Like a whole fucking shitload of fish, like 100 fish, and then smoked them. He just smoked them, and they lasted all summer. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Pink salmon, the world's smallest Pacific salmon, are the world's so-called climate winners. They appear to largely bypass the worst effects of habitat loss, superheated streams, and low flows, and they potentially benefit from ocean heating so far. Compared with Chinook, pink salmon are climate winners. Scientists like Greg Rugeron said the pinks have benefited from climate change. Their small size and two-year life cycle have allowed them to bypass the worst effects, such as marine heat waves. Their brief residence in freshwater and estuaries mean they're less likely to encounter dams, degraded habitat to overheated streams. Since the mid-1970s, pinks have become the dominant species of Pacific salmon, representing nearly 80% of all adult salmon returning to the North Pacific rivers to spawn in 21 and 23. They have a fixed 2-year life cycle, and their odd-year abundance has revealed itself in a biennial pattern, visible in everything ranging from plankton to the southern resident orcas, recent research showed. The pink success has been linked to additional pressure on other salmon already struggling against strong headwinds. The pink, while fun to catch, are no substitute for economically and culturally important salmon like Chinook. Now, Chinook take a lot longer to mature and die, so that's probably why you're seeing these ones that just return to spawn every 2 years a lot more often, right? They're going to have more offspring. A species most prized in Northwest waters for its size and nutritional benefits to people, orcas, and the broader ecosystem that depends on them. Okay, and this is where it has all these time hacks for the video. Humans have tipped the scale. Climate change is scrambling food webs, and pink salmon hatcheries are inflating the number of mouths to feed in the ocean. Yeah. Pink salmon hatcheries, about 1 billion pinks annually from Alaska alone. These are unnaturally born, by the way. Hatcheries. They're just, hey, let's protect them from any environment and just flood the zone with fish. Scientists like Greg Rugeron, an international salmon expert, have begun to demonstrate the ocean's resources aren't unlimited. Fisheries managers from native nations, West Coast states, and the federal governments are convening this month to exchange notes and establish harvest quotas intended to balance conservation, cultural, and economic needs. States and tribes will take this information and establish local fisheries. To be sure, 2026 will see very few pinks, but pink salmon have been more frequent topic of conversation among fishery managers. While young Puget Sound salmon head north to feed and grow in their ocean adulthood, they face myriad threats. Throughout their ocean life, they may encounter marine heat waves made more frequent by global warming. They also face hungry seals, sea lions, and orcas, and fishing gear. They are now contend with millions of pink salmon trying to navigate the same gauntlet. Pink salmon are now booming in the North Pacific. Since the mid-1970s, pinks have become the dominant species of Pacific salmon, representing nearly 80% of all adult salmon returned to the Pacific rivers to spawn in 20 and 23. The Duwamish, Seattle's only river, has seen a world of change. The White, Green, and Cedar Black River used to run together in attempts to tame flooding and transform tidelands to massive commerce. European settlers rerouted the rivers and dried up the Black.
Damn you settlers!
Damn Europeans. Yeah, you ruined it all. Yet extinction has come for many salmon runs here and is looming for others. Lake Washington, which is right there in Seattle, by the way, sockeye had to be trucked around bath-like water that otherwise wipes out more than 2/3 of the returning adults before they can reach the spawning grounds. They have to put the fish into a truck. Just wanted to tell you, that's what they're doing. They take the fish and put them in a truck, and they have to get them around the nasty water. Wow. With all the warm water, everything's happy. Even without the help of the hatchery, there are millions of them. Yep. They're a clear winner. Too bad the other salmon aren't keeping up. So again, we would like to see the sockeyes, but the pink salmon are winning. And I think they're just biologically more sound. And I think it's because of their birth rate. They spawn every 2 years, not waiting until, what's the life cycle of a duck? What is it? I don't know. I'll check it out. But this is a long, long story. The good news is pink salmon are coming back. They actually never went away. But we do have diversity.
Yeah.
Just because your favorite fish isn't around anymore doesn't mean anything, really. To tell you the truth, things go extinct all the time on Earth without us even knowing it. There's species that have existed our entire lives and went extinct during our life, and we never even discovered them until they were already extinct. So that shit happens all the time. So humans putting their finger on the scale, and then putting their finger on another side of the scale, and then putting their finger on another side of the scale, and then this scale, all the way up. Here we are. Okay. There's your, let's have us a hypothetical haiku.
This is an easy, sarcastic hypothetical here, which is like, oh my God, so you're saying if we didn't divert rivers because people decided, hey, I know where this should go, I know way better than nature, they wouldn't have disappeared. Wow, crazy. What a concept.
Yep. I guess you can blame Tesla, right? Because once Tesla started providing AC power to everybody, right, with Westinghouse, everybody started building hydroelectric dams. So that's where that went. So, and they said, this will also control floods. They didn't think about killing salmon. They just thought about providing electricity.
Yeah, sad. That's a concept a lot of humans suffer from, right? Is like, oh, we need this for something else, and they don't look. And that's why places like the EPA are important, because they say, hey, that's gonna have a natural impact on the environment. You can't do that. So that's why we created these things.
We used to have an EPA in this country. We used to have an EPA in this country. We used to have OSHA. We used to have a lot of things that have just been done away with in the last year. We don't have it. We just don't have it.
Yeah.
We have an industry-driven government that doesn't care about people, basically. Yeah. We are just here to die. We're here to work and die. That's who we are. Good news. Anyway,
so are the salmon, I guess.
Oh, the salmon. That's right.
Yeah.
And again, we don't actually.
They work and die.
Humans don't. Humans are just here
the banks of the river.
Humans are just here to fuck with other animals. We're just here to fuck with other animals. That's all. We're just here to fuck with them. And that's the only goddamn.
And that's why we should listen to Native people, because Native people mostly didn't do that. Not that they're all not guilty of doing that, but originally they're much more Also, good morning, Johnny.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping by and claiming your daily elixir. Let's roll our segue for my next stories. What's going on? It is gonna be... It's hypothetical again. Do you want to re-roll or...
Yeah, let's re-roll. I think it keeps doing that. I don't know
Actually,
why it does that.
technically this spin was different because the other spin was on the cusp. This spin was directly on top of hypothetical.
It needs to be like 20 or 30 degrees away from the last spin. I mean, would you trust a roulette wheel that kept hitting the same number? I wouldn't.
Reminds me of a song
I mean,
is the
there's a lot
next
more-
segue. Yeah.
That
All right, let's go
thing
into
hit
our...
10 5 times in a row. Let me bet on 10, and then bam, you lose all your money. Okay. What did I get? Sorry. What did I
It
get?
reminds me of a song.
Oh, all right. Right on. A2 song. All right, that's easy.
Our
Actually, I love that
first
category.
Story is coming for an update for anybody who remembers the sycamore gap tree that was chopped down for a joke by two drunk people.
Oh, God.
And they had to,
That
they basically
jackass.
sent the seeds of it to different places, and I think they're also trying to
Hadrian Wall.
regrow the
Yeah.
sycamore. Yeah, and I think they're also trying to regrow the sycamore gap tree as well. This is an update on that story. This is from Angela Garwood on positive.news. Britain's illegally felled sycamore gap tree is set to be transformed into a public artwork, and citizens are being invited to have their say. So they're taking the wood from the tree and turning it into art. People across the UK are being invited to help decide how the story of the beloved sycamore gap tree will live on. After 6 artists were shortlisted to create a major public artwork from its wood. The poll, launched by the National Trust, asked the public to vote for their favorite proposal, which will make up 30% of the final decision. So the rest of the 70% will be determined by a judging panel. So they're basically saying, what do you want us to do with the tree? Then the judges will look at the different things that win in that poll and say, okay, I think this is the best option. So just to make sure that it's not something like, turn it into a swastika, because you know how the internet is. You know how the internet is. Haha, Nazis. No, we're not doing that with the beloved sycamore gap tree. The winning artist will use wood saved from the tree to create a lasting tribute, with the final work to be completed in 2028. The tree, which stood beside Hadrian's Wall in Northumberland, was illegally felled in September 23. The act sparked widespread sadness and outrage, as Tommy, who is often in our chat, will tell you. He was very angry about it, and he's actually British, so he's allowed to be, the famous Northumberland tree's been felled, and he did a whole segment on it on his stream about how angry he was. With many people sharing personal memories of visiting the site, one of the most photographed trees in the country, now organizers hope the next chapter of the tree story can be shaped collectively. Solutions every Saturday uplift. Oh wait, sorry. This is. If you want solutions to uplift your Saturday, check out positive.news, I guess. Over the past 2 years, we've had extraordinary stories about what the sycamore gap tree meant to people, said Annie Riley, a public engagement director at the National Trust and chair of the judging panel. From moments of celebration to milestones to quiet memories of loss, connections and reflections, it became more than a tree. It became more than tree. It became part of the emotional landscape of the nation. After being carefully stored and allowed to season over the last 28 months, the wood is now ready for artists to work with. We always wanted to make sure that the tree had an extraordinary legacy, continues Riley. This vote is now the opportunity for the public to help shape the ongoing story. Each of the 6 proposals honor the tree in different ways, and we want people to choose the idea that captures what the sycamore gap tree meant to them. And then there's some beautiful pictures of where the tree sadly was, but it's still a beautiful picture. It's a beautifully tragic picture. The clouds are dark. It's felled over on the other side of the wall. And then there's some, I think, the blooming, because they took seeds or blooms from the original tree and planted them all over the country. So there's some pictures of the children of the tree being grown in other places. 6 artists and creative teams from across the UK have been shortlisted, each proposing a different way of commemorating the tree. Ideas range from the sculptural installations made from the original timber 2 nationwide participatory project involving storytelling, symbolic carved seeds, and community gatherings. The shortlisted artists are Alex Hartley and Tom James, Helix Arts with George King Architects, Mary Dalton, Non01, Sam Williams Studio, and Trigger. So if you like any of those artists already, go vote for them for what happens to the sycamore gap tree wood. Among the judging panel is Professor Miles Richardson, who says the project highlights the emotional bonds people form with nature. That's right. I mean, if you can ask anybody, even people in cities, right? You go outside, you walk in the trees, you just feel better. Sadly that is the case, right? When your doctor tells you maybe you should go for a walk, it sometimes is the truth, right? You do feel better for going a walk in nature. When symbols like the sycamore gap tree are lost, it reminds us of the deep emotional bonds we can form with the living world, he said. This commission is about more than artwork. It's an invitation to renew our relationship with nature, to notice and celebrate it every day, and to take action to protect the natural world. The public involvement is vital because this connection belongs to everyone. Anyone who's ever visited this tree, right? You don't even have to be British. There's people who go all the way to this wall. I'm actually feel really sad we never visited this tree when we were in the UK because it's gone now.
Yeah,
I can look at pictures of it now. You bastards, you drunk bastards.
Yeah. Drunks are always up to no good.
Yeah. The commission also follows other initiatives.
This is the drunkest holiday of the year, too.
Yeah. Designed to extend the tree's legacy, 49 saplings grown from its seeds have already been planted around the UK, including, I hear, actually Tommy's hospital that he works at actually has one of the trees. So we can dox where he works now because we just need to look up the list of all the trees. While the main section, alone, man. Don't you leave Tom alone. While the main section of the trunk is now displayed at the SIL National Landscape Discovery Center. Sarah Monroe, creative director of the Baltic Center of Contemporary Art and the member of the judging panel, said the commission reflects the wide effect people felt for the tree. And there's some beautiful pictures of it and when it still stood. Sycamore Gap has long been a symbol of connection between people, places, and memory, she said. The shortlisted artist brings exceptional imagination, sensitivity, and skill. Each offers a unique way of honoring the tree's loss while celebrating its enduring place in our shared cultural memory. Organizers hope the public vote will help turn a moment of loss into something hopeful. This project is built on the belief that something hopeful and unifying can really come from such a painful loss, says Riley. We hope as many people as possible will take part, exploring the proposals as well as shape the future story of the tree. Voting is open until March 28th, so go check out the, I don't even know, they didn't tell us where to go vote, so I guess you just have to look it up somewhere. The Sycamore Gap vote. The winning proposal was due to be announced later in the spring. Actually, I'm going to look it up right now. So Sycamore Gap vote. I'll find you the link. Search Sycamore Gap tree vote. How do I vote for this?
Non sequitur.
What is the website? Press release media.
Tomorrow.
Press release.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, I'm opening things. How to vote. Okay, you want to go to cesvotes.com/Sycamore Gap. No spaces in that word. So www.cesvotes.com/Sycamore Gap, and that's where you can vote for which proposal you want to win for the lineage of this tree, the legacy of this tree.
Right on.
Okay, give me your song that it reminds you of.
Oh, but it reminded me of a couple of songs and a poem. There's the Joyce Kilmer poem, right? Mm-hmm. I think as the first line, I think I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree, right? That one. The songs it reminds me of, first off, is the Terence Trent D'Arby song, Wishing Well. The first two lines are, kissing like a bandit, stealing time under a sycamore tree. So I remember that right away.
That was...
And of course, the all-timey song about trees is Trees by Rush, as I can read the lyrics. There's unrest in the forest, trouble with the trees, for the maples want more sunlight, and the oaks ignore their pleas. The trouble with the maples, and they're quite sure they're right. They say the oaks are just too lofty, and they grab up all the light. But the oaks can't help their feelings, they like the way they're made, and they wonder why the maples can't be happy in their shade. There's trouble in the forest, and the creatures all have fled, And the maples scream oppression, and the oaks just shake their heads. So the maples formed a union and demanded equal rights. They say the oaks are just too greedy, and we'll make them give us light. Now there is no more oak oppression, for they passed a noble law. For the trees are all kept equal by hatchet, axe, and saw. There you go. Lyrics by Neil Peart of Rush. And I know you've heard that song.
That
It's a
sounds
lot
like
longer
a
than
poetry. It's like a poem.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, my next story is about Romania getting rid of its plastic bottle problem for the most part. After years of, litter everywhere. This is from Robin Evely on Positive.News. A deposit return scheme for drink bottles and cans in Romania has made the impossible possible. Just a year ago, Romania slumped at the bottom of Europe's circulatory charts, with just 1.3% of materials fed into production coming from recycled sources. However, that could soon shift, albeit marginally, following the success of what is billed as the world's largest centralized deposit return scheme, DRS, run as a public-private partnership by the company Ritu Ro, as in Return Romania. You go to Romania now, you don't see a bottle anywhere, says Ritu Ro CEO Gemma Webb. It was this impossible made possible. Everyone's very proud. The non-for-profit partnership launched in 2023 with retailers, soft drink producers, brewers, and Romania's Department of Environment as shareholders. Consumers pay 50 cents Romanian leu, which is about 9 cents in pounds, deposit per bottle or can, and get the cash back by dropping them off in in-store reverse vending machines. This is how places like Germany and the Netherlands have been doing their bottle, by the way, as well. They give you a deposit, and if you want your deposit back, bring it back in. Supermarkets also collect recycling during home deliveries, crediting customers' accounts in return.
And Canada.
Yeah, a lot of places do this already. So they already know it's a working
the
system.
entire country of Canada, like the whole state of Michigan, you can just look on a Coke can in America and you can see the states where it's worth 10 cents to take your can back, right?
Yeah,
or your bottle,
exactly.
your bottle too.
Yeah, your bottle too, yeah.
Yeah.
The waste is then sorted and sold to
famous-
recycling firms, who in turn sell it back to manufacturers, including Pepsi and Heineken. Recycling has been dogged by criticism in recent years that the waste is often exported, resulting in illegal dumping. Yes, I think France gets in trouble with this. It's like, oh yeah, we'll take all your bottles and then we'll give them to the Netherlands or something. It's like, that's just giving somebody else your problem. But Webb said the key to Romania's scheme, and essential for customer confidence, was full traceability. For every ton we sell to recyclers, we get a certificate to show it actually was recycled. And we audit them as well. That's important. You gotta audit. You can just, oh yeah, we totally recycle those. It's like, I'm coming over and checking. Oh shit. We actually have to recycle these guys. Start recycling them. We're aiming for bottle to bottle and can to can. It's literally a full circular economy. 15 cans were recycled, 15 cans returned back to the market. Over and over, circle, continued until the end of time. Despite transport costs making glass a rarity in DRS models, Romania does include glass, and studies show residents are embracing the measure. 90% of Romanians have used the scheme at least once, and 60% are regular cashing in their empties. Over 8 billion containers have been collected to date, including 4.5 billion plastic bottles, returning over 500,000 tons of high-grade recycled materials to producers. Beverage containers make up just 5% of Romania's total waste toll, meaning its DRS is likely to have only a minimal impact on overall recycling rates. But that's better than 1.5 it was before. However, other nations, including Poland, Turkey, and Bulgaria, are said to be eyeing up this scheme. They should have been eyeing it up ages. I mean, like I said, Germany, I get why Poland doesn't want to do what Germany's doing, but like the Netherlands been doing it. Like you said, Canada, like people have been doing this. I don't know why they aren't already doing it. The UK is set to launch its own DRS in October next year. Webb said Reto Ro's success often offers valuable lessons and believes Britain could even surpass Romania as the world's largest centralized system. Probably because they're a bigger country? I don't know. Do they have more people or less people? I'm not sure why they're saying that. The UK just wants to brag. We're the best. We're England and we're the best. We're going to beat you, Romania. We'll show you. Hey, That's fine. You can be competitive about how much plastic bottles you're recycling. I'm not gonna be annoyed by that. But there's my story on getting rid of all that trash by recycling it. Who would have thought?
Okay, so that song reminded me of would be a song called "The Sky is a Landfill" by Jeff Buckley, the late great Jeff Buckley, current nominee for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the chorus. I see you take another drag, one more lost soul to raise your flag. The sky is a landfill. I see you take another drag. Let's see you take another drag. I don't know the song, but hey, I'm going to listen to it now because I do like his voice. Anyway.
Listen to all his songs because he only made so many, you know?
He only made so many. It's the best version of Hallelujah if you want to check that out. If you like that song. Anyway.
That's true. A lot of people give him credit for having the best version of that song. Okay,
so that's our little story.
That's my stories. On to yours. We're going to talk about... I was actually going to talk about this, but I'm glad you're talking about it because it should be mentioned, right? Sean Penn is off there doing shit. That's your next story, right? It's off there doing important stuff, not showing up to the celebrity event.
Yeah. Purposely not showing up at the Academy Awards. He knew when the Academy Awards were. He knew he was nominated, right? By the way, I was just going to, one little side note. We're going to cover this tomorrow, actually, in our strange news. Did you know you can drink, maples are not the only syrup you can harvest. You can actually harvest sycamore syrup, and you can buy sycamore syrup. So there you go.
Nice.
You aren't going to get it in England. You aren't going to get it in England because they don't have the seasons, right? The sap has to be frozen in the ground and it has to thaw and start running out for it to be harvested. Otherwise, it just drips slow. I guess you could drip it slowly. It helps if it's running, like for a week, running really hard.
I love tree blood.
tree blood. That's a good one. All right, let's sapling juice. Let's talk about Sean Penn since you brought it up. Sean Penn, this is from Variety.com. Sean Penn skipped the Oscars to talk to President Zelensky in Ukraine. He has his priorities in order. This is from Jazz. First name Jazz, this person's first name. Jazz Tangkay. Jazz Tangkay. Should be a music writer, right? Sean Penn won his third Oscar Sunday night for supporting actor for his role as Colonel Lockjaw in Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, but he was missing from the award show. Penn skipped the ceremony to meet the Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky. The Ukrainian leader posted a photo of them together on X, thanking the actor and activist. Zelensky wrote, "Sean, thanks to you, we know what a true friend of Ukraine is. You have stood with Ukraine since the first day of the full-scale war. This is still true today, and we know that you will continue to stand with our country and our people." That was a social media post on social media. Let's put it that way. Last year's supporting actor winner Aaron Culkin presented the awards tonight, saying Sean Penn couldn't be here this evening or didn't want to, so I'll be accepting the award on his behalf. Penn appeared on last year's Variety's Actors on Actors, a conversation. Penn appeared on last year's Variety's Actors on Actors, which is a podcast, in a conversation with Julia Roberts, and said he skirted the non-smoking rules at the Golden Globes to light up a cigarette during the ceremony. Yeah, Sean Penn famously went on, I think it was Colbert, or one of those talk shows. He just, mind if I light up? And he just lights up right there in the studio, and nobody stopped him. I guess Sean Penn can do what he wants. Sean Penn is the short list of people who can do what the fuck they want, I guess. Anyway, Will Smith, another one. At the 2026 Globes, he lost the Best Supporting Actor, Sentimental Values, Stalking. He lost the Best Supporting Actor to Sentimental Values, which is a movie. And the actor is named Stalin Skarsgård. I've not heard of this movie or the person, so I apologize. Penn went on to win the Actor Award and the BAFTA Award, but declined to attend either ceremony. I think he probably got enough awards. I mean, I'm good. I'm good at my job. I get it. Thanks, everybody. At last year's Lumiere Film Festival, Penn talked about his activism, including his documentary Superpower, co-director with Aaron Kaufman, about his encounters with Zelensky. Penn reflected on how his activism, filmmaking, and carpentry all come from the same impulse. I don't know that I differentiate differentiate between getting up in the morning and going to my workshop and building a piece of furniture from going to a movie set and acting or directing a movie or anything I've done working in the NGO space or with the documentary Superpower, he said. It all feels like you always looking to be value added. Sometimes you're not, sometimes you can catch yourself inflaming a situation. You have to weigh risk benefit to everything, to the situation, not to one's self. So Sean Penn, seriously not giving a fuck what you think about him necessarily, right? Not looking for your approval, just doing what he wants to. And the freedom to do it. And you gotta admire that. Anybody can just light up a national television in the state of California inside a building. I don't know if he got fined. Probably didn't. I just guess it. I know I couldn't do that. Anyway, that's one of my favorite things about Sean Penn. He just, hey, I'm on an airplane. Let me light up. No, you can't do it, Sean. Sorry. It's other people's air, right? So.
Not really related to what he did, but
I'm just saying. It's good news that the actor is not so full of himself that he thinks that getting an award is the most important thing in his life. That's what I like, I don't care about yours. I don't care about your approval. I seek it, but I don't care about it. How about that? That's a tough one. Anyway. It is, really. He seeks approval. All actors seek approval. They do, definitely, right? They want, but I think to me, my only thing is about this, and I don't think they're lying when they say this. If you're nominated for an Academy Award, holy shit, you're the top of your profession. I don't care if you win or not. You're at the top of your profession. Just, wow, I made it to the top. This is my day. I am at the top. I'll never have a day like this in my life. Either win or not, winning or not. Just appreciate the fact that people recognize your job. Anyway, there's your good news
deluge.
Story before I do another one.
About Sean Penn.
Yeah,
all right. My limerick for this is, in tuxedos they gather and cheer, while Sean's often lands far and near. He's helping Ukraine through struggle and pain, with purpose that's crystal and clear.
Nice use of the word crystal and clear.
He knows where he stands. Next story.
Homer finds everything funny. Berkeley, we're going to Berkeley for this short story. News.berkeley.education, a Nobel laureate. Yeah, let's talk about a Nobel laureate. New Public Affairs is not his person's name. That's all it says. This is their Public Affairs desk of the University of California at Berkeley, which is up in Northern California. We just call it Cal, right? We just call it Cal.
Mm-hmm.
And at age 10, Omar Yagi. I hope he didn't invent the Yagi antenna. Anyway, it's a directional antenna. Inside joke from radio guys. At age 10, Omar Yagi walked into a school library in Amman, Jordan, and opened a book that changed his life. He saw molecular drawings, complete structures he didn't understand, but which immediately captivated him. I thought I discovered something that nobody had ever seen before, Yagi recalls. That's weird. That's an interesting thing people do. They think nobody ever saw this book before. Somebody had to write it. Somebody had to edit it. Right? Yagi, now a professor of chemistry of UC Berkeley, shared his story.
Nobody alive has ever seen it, I guess.
Maybe. Shared his story of recent Brilliance of Berkeley lecture to illustrate how a life defined by scarcity can be transformed through the pursuit of science. And here he is holding up a model of metal organic frameworks. And what's he famous for? Growing up in a family of 10 children. I can sympathize with that. Yagi lived in a single room that lacked electricity and running water. The family shared their living quarters with cattle, separated from the animals by at least sacks of feed. The education was family's singular priority. Yeah, man. I used to sleep in the barn in the wintertime because it was warmer there. Sometimes I would, right? Cow's body heat is 101 degrees, by the way. Education was the family's singular priority, as parents spent everything they earned to keep children in school and ensure they had a path forward in a different future. In 2025, Yagi was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the development of metal organic frameworks, or MOFs, porous materials that act like molecular sponges capable of capturing carbon dioxide from the air and harvesting water from desert humidity. desert humidity is a very, very small percentage of what the air is, right?
Yeah.
In the Berkeley Talks episode, Yagi describes how his childhood as a refugee and his early days as an immigrant to the U.S. shaped his relentless. Another immigrant, making us great, as usual. He recounts as the failure of a year-long graduate school experiment that actually resulted in his first major discovery, a ball-shaped molecule that paved the way for his career. Today, his research on reticular chemistry continues to push towards a real-world solutions that account climate crisis. For Yagi, science is not only about discovery, but about transforming access to life's most basic resource. My dream, he says, is for everyone to have water independence. And here's where your water is yours, independent of everything else. Yes, if you can harvest just the old water in your air around your house, it's your water. You don't have to share it with nobody. And
you can
water
also
scarcity
live.
is not going to stop being an issue anytime soon. Hopefully that was long enough for you to form a limerick.
Oh,
if not,
no. Keep talking.
I will. Okay, let's click on the Brilliance of Berkeley website link, and let's see what they got to say. Brilliance of Berkeley, spring of 2026. Yes. Shoosh. The next speech will be week 9, February, March 20th at 12 to 2. If you're in town, if you're in Berkeley, California, stop on by. They have one every Friday. They have these. So every Friday for the rest of the semester up until May 1st, it looks like. So maybe they graduate sometime in May. So that'll be hopefully a limerick in there somewhere.
I'm ready to go.
Brilliance
In
of
the
Berkeley.
air,
Good,
there's a treasure so rare. With a spark of our minds we can share. We'll pull moisture around, turn dry days too profound, and sip waters from breezes with care. Tastes like cow. To be fair, my village right now smells like cow. It's cow time.
Oh yeah, everybody's spreading the fertilizer, are they?
Yep.
Nice.
It's fertilizing time.
Oh,
Gotta get that
Yep.
crops growing.
Oh, yeah,
right.
We used to do that. We did that. I grew up on a farm, so yes, we spread
Don't
we
let
spread
it go to waste.
manure all winter, and we spread manure all winter until the manure spreader breaks or freezes, right? Because that usually happened. And then we summertime it would really smell pungent.
Yeah, I think here what they do is they put it in water, so they just spray manure water all over the field, so it's even more
they chemically
pungent.
enhance it too. Actually, they chemically enhance it too. Yep.
All right, tell me a
I wouldn't
joke
be surprised.
about our culture segment here,
Right on.
in which we're going to talk about
And I need to find a video. Want a video hunt.
gin. So much gin galore, as they say in this headline. Anna Filipa Palma on Euronews Culture is reporting a British couple that began collecting gin bottles at their mid-Atlantic hotel, planning to stop at 1,000, but the private collection nearly tops 2,000. The unique gin library is the brainchild of a pair who chose to make the Azores their home. The gin library is the largest private gin collection in the world. At least that is what its owners claim. Ali Bullock and his wife Caroline are the couple behind the unusual hoard, located at the Solar Blanco Eco Estate Hotel on the island of São Miguel in the Azores. The stockpile includes more than 2,000 bottles on display. The spirits on show come from as far as Australia and New Zealand, but you can also find gins from non-traditional producers such as Botswana, Uganda, and Bulgaria. It's a well worth consulting the impressive amount of gins if that's your favorite tipple. We do not know of any other like it, says Caroline Bullock. The challenge is simple. If you bring a gin that is not yet in the collection, it will be swapped for a bottle of your choice from the range of the Ghosts of the Ocean gins, created in the Azores, she added. Oh, so they have a gin trade. Instead of buying gin, you just trade. Ali and Caroline first discovered Ponta Delgada, the capital of São Miguel, in 2006. I didn't discover it. I'm sure they existed, but I think we discovered São Miguel. It didn't exist before us. They chose the island as their honeymoon destination. They fell in love with the place, the way of life, the food and the landscapes and the people, and so much so that they came back to stay forever. The couple are part of the growing number of people who drop everything to completely change their lives. Very relatable. I did the same thing, really. They gave up their jobs in marketing and international relations to start again in Portugal after 15 years living in Hong Kong. They arrived in the country at the end of 2018 and with the idea of opening a hotel with a distinctive bar serving nothing but gin. And then 2 years later, something bad happened, I think. We wanted to have something different for our guests, Caroline tells Euronews. They had in mind a period house, which they eventually found. However, quite some time passed between developing the project, renovating the property, and securing all the permits. Of course, you need a permit for selling alcohol, for example. During the pandemic, Ali threw himself into spirits and began creating his own blends. The flavors of the island, such as seaweed, pennyroyal, and pineapple, were the first to be explored. We have around 10 types of gin, but all are available all year round because of seasonality. The recipes are Ali's, but the production is done in a factory, Caroline explains. The Gin Library opened in autumn 2019 with 330 bottles from Ali's personal collection. By July 21, they had passed 500 bottles, and in July 2023, they reached the 1,000 bottle mark. Ali thought about stopping there, but the train was already in motion. I haven't even collected all the gin in the world yet. Let me just keep going. By the end of 2024, they had already had 1,834 bottles from more than 70 countries and almost every continent. I mean, Antarctica isn't making gin yet, but maybe soon. I mean, it's cold enough there. As the couple has always planned, every guest at the Solar Bronco is invited to a gin and tonic every evening, as well as tasting and master classes. The venue, however, is open to all visitors, not just hotel guests. Well, I guess I need to go there with our gin that Neth went to a bachelor's party where they just made gin. That was like the thing they did. And we don't even drink, so we just have a bottle of gin in our house. Like, I'm going to trade it in. Here you go. You can have this Dutch Genevier is what you call it here, which they invented gin, by the way. I don't know why the UK always gets credit for gin. The Dutch invented the drink, but I guess they just love it so much because of what's his name? I forget his name. The spy, James Bond. I think James Bond's always getting a gin or something when his famous line is getting a gin or something. So I guess it became a British thing, but it's always been like a Dutch invention, I suppose.
What James Bond always said was shaken, not stirred.
Oh, okay.
So his line about martini.
Oh, it was a martini. Okay. Wait, martinis have gin in them, don't they? I have no idea.
Unless it's a vodka martini. Yes, martinis are gin, vermouth, and something else. I forget. I don't drink gin.
Yeah,
so.
No, neither do I.
Like,
that's why we have some in our house.
This is awful. This is really awful. If I'm going to get drunk, I'm not going to be miserable while I'm getting drunk. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a joke about gin, because that's my story.
Well, a drunk finds a gin drunk. Let's do this. He finds a bottle and he rubs the bottle, and a genie comes out. You have 2 wishes. And the drunk says, I want a bottomless bottle of gin. That no matter how much I drink, it never goes empty. And the genie says, your wish is granted. Boof, he gets a bottle. He drinks it and freaking drinks the whole bottle, and it fills right magically back up.
Nice.
And the stupid drunk. Okay, genie, what's your second wish? And the drunk goes, I want another one of those. I want 2 of them.
Oh, no.
Terrible joke, but...
It's a classic, though, isn't it? It's like you don't have a video yet? Okay.
I almost do. I have it now. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to talk about the weather.
I thought you had an idea for yesterday. Yeah.
I quieted this. I don't know why I muted myself. Anyway, I'm just going to share it with you now, and I'll get on to my story.
All right, let me roll the segue wheel. Segue.
And this has to do with the weather, the video, in March weather, and hopefully, there we go. We sent it. Hopefully, you got it now. All right. What do we spin?
We've got A mixed metaphor. Easy for me. Take it away to this day in history. I love mixed metaphors.
And what did I just spin? I forgot to write it down. So you got a metaphor.
You did tell a joke. You just told a joke. That's good.
Hey, I move right on. I forget.
What did I just do? No, I'm the same way. I'm laughing because it's relatable.
I got no time to live in the past. I got no time to live in the recent past. At least 5 seconds ago past. It's over with, man. Okay, on this day in history, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if he did anything on this day, but we'll look him up. Oh, did you know we were talking about Hadrian's Wall a little bit earlier? And on this day in 100 AD, Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who became the symbol of the West in the golden age of the Roman Empire, died at the age of 58. I think he was after Hadrian, right?
I'm not really good at my history
1770s
like that.
Hadrian was AD. I know that. He wasn't BC. 1776, British General William Howe evacuated Boston after successful siege by American revolutionaries led by Old Georgie, General George Washington, the cherry tree guy. 1861 in Turin, Italy, after more than 10 years of a revolution led by such figures as Giuseppe Garibaldi, a parliament assembled and officially proclaimed the Unified Kingdom of Italy. 1902, American golfer Bobby Jones is born. He's the first player to retrieve the Grand Slam. Of course, Bobby Jones, he built the Masters course in Augusta. What's it called? The Augusta National, whatever, and the one they play the Masters at. Of course, the Grand Slam in those days, you won the U.S. Open, the British Open, the U.S. Amateur, and the British Amateur. He won all 4 of those. He wasn't even a professional yet. He wasn't getting paid for it. That's crazy. 1905, Eleanor Roosevelt, niece of Theodore Roosevelt, the president, married her distant cousin Franklin D. Roosevelt, later U.S. president. Yes, aristocracy does that kind of thing. Don't want to let those poor people in on the action. We got to marry within the family. Somebody else might be wanting to get in our money. I don't know. I don't understand marrying
something
inside
like that.
Your family. Just the weirdest shit in the world. 1919, Nat King Cole was born, American musician and first came to prominence as jazz pianist, but who reached enormous popularity as warm, relaxed, somewhat breathy voice ballad singing. Yes, Nat King Cole, one of the greats. 1921, British activist Mary Stopes and her husband opened the first birth control clinic in England, a London facility called the Mother's Clinic for Constructive Birth Control. That's right. 1938, Poland issued an ultimatum to Lithuania in an attempt to settle the territorial dispute of the city of Vilnius, which is the capital of Lithuania to this very day. So here we go.
Woohoo!
I guess that all made him work in Poland's favor. Of course, Poland was invaded basically 2 years later by Germany. So they didn't really. I was 1 year later. I was 39 years invaded. Poland wasn't calling shots for very long after that. Let's put it that way. 1958, the first solar-powered satellite Vanguard 1 was launched from Cape Canaveral, place I was talking about earlier. The small satellite that weighs less than 4 pounds stopped transmitting in 1964. Yes, right. A solar-powered satellite lasted 6 years. Oh, almost 70 years ago. We had solar power, charging capacity enough to keep a satellite in orbit for 6 years. And I guess we probably just abandoned that technology and said, that's as far as we're going with that.
No, it got better, I think.
Whatever.
They got better than that.
Yeah, it got better. It should have got better.
Didn't the rover last 15 years or something? The Mars rover or something? Didn't it last a long time?
Yeah, but I don't know how much solar power it had, right? It might have just been running off.
No, it was definitely running off.
Not exactly. Could have been nuclear.
No.
1969, Golda Meir became the 4th Prime Minister of Israel, the first woman. Israel way ahead of the curve in that. 1992, nearly 69% of white South African voters backed F.W. Clark's reforms, which included the repeal of racially racially discriminatory laws and effectively endorsed the dismantling of apartheid. Apartheid just went down the shitter on this day in 1992. 2001, a fire broke down the headquarters of the Doomsday Cult movement for the restoration of the Ten Commandments of God in the Uganda. Has eventually led to the discovery of more than 775 bodies, many of which had been poisoned. We hadn't even heard of this. This is almost as bad as Jim Jones. The cult's leaders were believed to have killed their followers after a promised apocalypse did not occur. If somebody's promising you an apocalypse, if somebody say the end times is near, they are crazy. Just get that through your head. Nobody on this planet is smarter than you about when the end times are occurring. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what happens when you die. Anybody claims they know doesn't know. They don't know. Even if they were dead once and had an experience, they still don't know. They could have been dreaming. I've had dreams. I've had very vivid dreams. It doesn't mean I almost died. Anyway, so all these people that thinking their religion is right and people killing themselves and joining it, knock it off already. Stop pretending that humans are going to fix something with some invisible man behind them. That's just gibberish. This is plain gibberish. You people need to grow up. 2005, American author Andre Norton died at the age of 93. He wrote more than 130 sci-fi and fantasy adventure novels for juveniles and adults. That's probably why I haven't heard of him, because it was probably something I didn't know.
You're no longer a juvenile, maybe. Right.
Andre Norton, I'm saying he died at 93, so he would have been somebody I probably could have read as a young adult. I just never heard of him. St. Patrick today, patron saint of Ireland, died on this day in 461, if we can prove it, according to legend. And now its feast day is celebrated widely in Ireland and the United States. 1941. In 1941, on this day, is our featured event. National Gallery of Art opens in Washington, D.C. on this day. 1941, National Gallery of Art opened in Washington, D.C. President Franklin D. Roosevelt gave the dedication speech to about 6,000 guests, praising Andrew Mellon, who is a rich banker, who had donated the entirety of his art collection, funds for building construction, and a hefty endowment. The museum boasts an extensive collection of Western artwork, including pieces by Pablo Picasso, Paul Cézanne, and Claude Monet. The National Gallery also features the only Leonardo da Vinci piece on display in the Americas. Of course, the National Art Gallery featuring art from other countries. Makes perfect sense to me.
Very national.
I mean, we're all from other countries, so it just makes sense, right? We would have had this if we'd been in America. It would have painted it here, by golly. Our feature biographer is Mia Hamm, American athlete, soccer player, or you'd call it football. She's turning 54 today. She was born on St. Patrick's Day in 1972 in Selma, Alabama. Wow, she grew up right in the heart of segregation. Mia Hamm. She's very white, by the way, not black. 1919, Nat King Cole, American singer and musician. We did that. Rudolph Nureyev, Soviet dancer, born in 1938. John Wayne Gacy. We got to remember us serial killers. Oh, yeah. John Wayne Gacy's birthday. Oh, buy him a cake. I don't fucking know. He's a dead serial killer. We need to remember his birthday because
I haven't
how
found
about
it.
the day he died? Why don't we celebrate that? I have no reason why we need to remember his birthday. Knock this shit off already, Botanica. 1948, William Gibson, American-Canadian author, and Alexander McQueen. 1969's birthday for Alexander McQueen. It was a British fashion designer. It's only three things today. National 3D Day is the third day of the third week in March. So I guess it's because it's the third month, it's the third day, and it's the third week. That's three different things. So it's 3D Day.
And today's your day. I don't know what,
That's
but
right.
something's going to happen because of it, I'm sure.
Because it's the third. It's the third day, which Tuesday, I guess. I thought Tuesday was the second day of the week, but I guess now it's the third day of the week. I thought Monday started the week because Sunday's part of the weekend. How can it be the week beginning?
I agree with you. I think in Europe, it's Monday is the first day of the week. Like if you look at a calendar, it always starts Monday and ends on Saturday and Sunday. You're completely right.
Nope, I'm completely wrong about that because in America, our calendars do have Sunday in the first column. So I don't know if yours does it different.
No, but I'm just saying other places do have today as a second day of the week, not the third. That's fine. That's all I'm saying.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, but I don't understand the conflict of calling Sunday the weekend when it's the first day of the week. Why don't you just call it week beginning then? Anyway,
week beg.
I don't have to do shit on Sunday, therefore it's the weekend. I don't know why they're calling it the week beginning. Anyway, this be the third day of the third month and the third week, starting now, which again, started actually on the 15th, but yeah. So, there you go. Oh, you know what it is? That is the third day because what? The 15th was the first day, the 16th was the first day. It's going to be March 17th every year, isn't it? Right? I just saying. Wouldn't it be? I would think. Anyway, it's enough of that nonsense. It's also St. Patrick's Day, and it's corned beef and cabbage day. So there's your haikus, we didn't do haikus, we did limericks, jokes, songs, and everything else. Mispronunciation, arguments about nothing for March 17th, 2026 on Before Corned Beef and Cabbage. And boy, I actually want some damn corned beef and cabbage. Anyway,
sounds so good.
Let's do it.
That sounds like a great thing to eat. I
I'll
love
go to
corned
the store
beef too.
today.
Sadly, they don't sell corned beef as commonly here as they would in the UK. Like if I was in the UK right now, I could go down and find corned beef everywhere. Not so common here. For my mixed metaphor, kiss me, I'm Irish, and we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Oh yeah. We're burning bridges? I thought we were
That's more mixed
I thought we were
metaphor.
crossing bridges.
It's more a mixed metaphor.
You're mixed bad metaphor. Got it.
Yeah. So many metaphors we mixed.
Or the bad Ted Kennedy joke when this was in National Lampoon back in the day when Ted Kennedy was thinking about running for president. Reporter asked Ted Kennedy, well, it's a cartoon balloons, right? Talking. Hey, Ted Kennedy, are you going to run for president? And Ted Kennedy goes, I'll drive off that bridge when I come to it.
A bonus joke.
If you know about Chappaquiddick, you'll think that's hilarious.
All right.
There's your days. I sent you a video.
There's still no international UN observances today. Don't worry, we're going to have 5,000 of them on Friday. I don't know why there's so many on Friday. I should just be covering them now. Because I'll be talking for 10 minutes on Friday about all these days that are happening. I'm quickly downloading the video. But thank you everyone who was here today. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands and Roger from the East Coast of the US. With all our good news here to share, to give you some hope in humanity. I hope it worked. Well, tomorrow we'll be back with some wacky and weird Wednesday, in which we'll be covering all. I already have a couple of weird news stories as myself about that, so, and I think you also do too. Though, to give some levity to us, because everything's all doom and gloom and all. We're in World War 15 at this point, but guess what? Some wackiness is still happening. So I'm making this as long as possible.
War number 3 of the Epstein Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
First one was Venezuela. Second one was Greenland. Don't forget Greenland.
And that's a good point. Release the Epstein file, unredacted. Just, at this point, fuck all the victims, fuck all the perpetrators. Just let us know who all of them are. Also, my camera crashed.
You can't arrest them anyway, but you can arrest the people that are covering it up.
Give me a sec while I fix my camera breaking. All of a sudden.
Uh-oh.
But we will be back for Whacking Wood Wednesday. So thank you everyone who's already following. Don't forget. Do not forget, if you're watching this right now, to subscribe to the Before Coffee podcast channel on YouTube so that people know that. YouTube knows that you guys enjoy this. You enjoy watching this. Yeah. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. It's one click on a red button somewhere down there on the YouTube video. So feel free. And if you're already following and already subscribed, don't forget to turn on that notification bell, to click on the bell so you get notified when we go live and post a video. I'm hoping my camera will come back to life. There we are. And
there you go.
without further ado, let me quickly slot this video into our.
We're updating about the weather. By the way, we didn't get any tornadoes yesterday, but a tree blew over in our neighborhood. I know that. And the power flickered a few times. Yeah, it was really windy last night. It flickered, but it didn't go out. Down the street, they lost power because a tree fell in the power lines. But that's after us.
Unlucky.
We're like cut off from that.
You're on a different circuit,
They're up the line from us. Yeah, if they were closer to the main highway, we would have been out of power. But I can see the lights. I can hear the chainsaws. Yeah, my neighbors, they probably still had power. Who knows, right? Who knows?
I think most people who are living where you live get generators because it is kind of in the sticks.
Plus, all the power lines are buried. I don't think most of the power lines are buried in our neighborhood. Maybe it just fell on a transformer because the transformers are above ground. But
yeah, those very dangerous boxes kids play on top of.
There was a tree down in the road. Anyway, that's my little weather update of the nasty March coming in like a lion. There's the old saying, March coming in like a lion, going out like a lamb. And so that's the root of this video.
All right, then let's go to our mic drop moment.
Last week we made a comment that March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. Now here to reply is our chief meteorologist, John Belushi, with a seasonal report.
I like that wig.
Oh, look, young John Belushi there.
Is almost over, and March 2 to 4
Well, he never got old.
In like a lion, and hopefully we'll go out like a lamb. At least that's how March works here in the United States. But did you know that March behaves differently in other countries? Norway, for example, March comes in like a polar bear and goes out like a walrus. Or take the case of Honduras, where March comes in like a lamb and goes out like a salt marsh harvest mouse. Let us compare this to the Maldive Islands, where March comes in like a wildebeest and goes out like an ant. A tiny little ant.
I just watched Chevy Chase.
Unlike the Malay Peninsula, where March comes in like a worm-eating fern bird and goes out like a worm-eating fern bird. In fact, their whole year is like a worm-eating fern bird. Or consider the Republic of South Africa, where March comes in like a lion and goes out like a different lion. Like one has a mane and one doesn't have a mane. Or in certain parts of South America, where March swims in like a sea otter, then it slithers out like a giant anaconda. There you can buy land real cheap, you know? And there's a country where March hops in like a kangaroo and stays a kangaroo for a while, and then it becomes a slightly smaller kangaroo. Then for a couple days, it's sort of a cross between a frilled lizard and a common house cat.
Oh my goodness.
Then it changes
to a spider?
A smaller kangaroo, and then it goes out like a wild dingo. Now, and it's not Australia. Now you'd think it would be Australia, but it's not. Now look, pal! I know a country where March comes in like an emu and goes out like a tapir, and they don't even know what it means. All right? Now listen, there are 9 different countries where March comes in like a frog and goes out like a golden retriever. But that's not the weird part. No, the weird part is the frog. The frog part is...
beating him up. Oh, he has a heart attack about this. In the Netherlands, they say April will do what it wants. So it's not about March, it's about April. April will do what it wants. Don't expect anything. Wear all the jackets, wear 0 jackets, whatever.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.